So some of the points which I would like to identify in regards to conflict of devotees and how to handle that. So to start with, the first and foremost thing is essence, or we call it rules and regulations in order to achieve essence. What is the essence? Why we are trying to do what we are doing? So it's important when we start our bhakti, it is not like we actually know the end purpose of it, that, oh, I have to go back to Godhead, I have to serve the devotees. When we start our bhakti, we don't start in that mood. Hai na? It's like when a child takes admission in nursery, his mind or his thought process is not like मुझे पढ़ना है, मुझे पढ़ के engineer, doctor या कुछ बनना है. We put the child in nursery and he is following the rules and regulations. उसी rules regulations में उसे खेलना भी है, थोड़ी पढ़ाई भी कर लेनी है, and so on and so forth. But slowly, as he graduates, goes to 8th, 9th, 10th, the main focus of study becomes more prevalent. And khel, kood and stuff takes the second precedence. So in bhakti also, when we start with some different agenda. Some of us actually come to bhakti center to eat prasadam. Prasadam ka bada intezar rehta hai. Some of us actually come to bhakti center because you man ki shanti chahiye. Bahut duniya mein trasdi hai. I'm so pained in the world that when I come here, at least there is not much of duality, calmness hai. Some of us come to Bhakti Center in the beginning to learn and pick up things so that I can apply back to my corporate world or to my friends or to my business and whatnot. Mansha alag hoti hai. So even though mind is acting differently, but if we are in the boundary of rules and regulations, जैसे होता है ना, पॉटर किस तरह से बनाता है मटके को, हमारा बनावट उस तरीके से चालू हो जाता है. The process starts. So in that phase also we can have conflicts. If you are not following the rules, we can have conflicts. Even if you are starting to follow the rule, we can have conflicts. अरे प्रभुजी मैं गया था, पता नहीं इस्कॉन तो प्रसादम के लिए जाना जाता है. I went and sat. I mean, बगल वाले को गुलाब जामुन सर्व किया गया, मुझे नहीं किया गया. पता नहीं मुझे अगली बार जाना चाहिए कि नहीं, कम से कम सर्विंग तो अच्छी होनी चाहिए थी ना प्रभुजी. I don't know. You start that way. And very practical. You will see when we are bringing all the new souls through Janmashtami and all to our congregation, we could find these kind of issues also. For the devotee, it might look like, "Arey, ye kyun?" But it starts that way, practically. Second point is our purification. See, the conflicts, when it happens, we should actually be thinking that Krishna has given us this situation for our purification. Sometimes it's very hard when we are in the congregation and when we are looking at our juniors, our peers and our seniors. जूनियर्स आपके साथ कुछ बिहेव कर दिए, पीयर्स आपके साथ कुछ बिहेव कर दिए जो आपको अच्छा ना लगा, या सीनियर्स भी आपके साथ कुछ कर दिए अच्छा ना लगा. Now here, in the name of devotion, you cannot say, but you are tolerating. But when you are tolerating, somewhere जाकर के वो फूटेगा. You will come to house and you will talk to your wife or husband, देखिए आज गए तो थे, but इन्होंने ऐसे कर दिया, उन्होंने वैसे कर दिया. सेवा में मेरा नाम नहीं लिया गया. I had done so much. So these kind of things are there in the man because everybody wants to get recognized. That's the fact. But whenever we get so called insulted, or whenever we get हमें हीन दृष्टि से देखा गया या हमारे को भाव नहीं दिया गया, और आज प्रभु जी ने मुझे देखा नहीं, हरे कृष्णा नहीं बोला, वो अनदेखा करके निकल गए, that is actually nothing but for our purification, that Krishna is putting us in that spot. क्योंकि हमारे मन में कहीं आई माइंडसेट है कि मैं एक महान इंसान बनने की प्रवृत्ति रखता हूं, आई एम द ग्रेट, आई एम डूइंग समथिंग विच नन ऑफ माय फैमिली मेंबर्स डू, सो आई हैव समथिंग इन मी एंड एवरीबॉडी शुड वैल्यू मी फॉर दैट. तभी तो इंकरेजमेंट और इंथुजियाज्म आएगा मुझ में. सो दैट इज अनदर thing we have to be careful of, that our mind can play tricks, but it is for our purification. And also हमें मनमौजी नहीं होना चाहिए कि when we go in the name of ISKCON, in the name of Krishna consciousness, to Bhakti Center, to temple or Seva, our mind cannot keep like, अच्छा ठीक है हम एक अच्छे सर्कल में तो आ गए हैं कि कुछ भी बातें कर रहे हैं. The talk should be always centered around Krishna and his devotees. If we don't do that, it becomes prajalpa, it becomes gossip. And when we do gossip, it can lead from small thing to any big thing. It's not like when Maharaj is coming in the Bhakti center, then only our mood is of bhakti. When बगल वाले पियर है जिनको हम बचपन से देख रहे हैं या फिर उनको शुरू से देख रहे हैं भक्ति सेंटर में, तो कहते हैं ना, वो घर की मुर्गी दाल बराबर. सो या प्रभु जी आज पता है क्या हुआ, पॉलिटिक्स, क्रिकेट, दिस दैट, एवरीथिंग वी आर टॉकिंग, बट व्हेन महाराज कम्स देन ओनली वी बिकम सीरियस. दैट इज हिपोक्रेसी. बगल में जो डिवोटी बैठे हैं, हो सकता है जब हमारे साथ शुरू किए होंगे, देन ही माइट बी लाइक न्यू, बट हु नोज, that same devotee can start 4-5 bhakti vrikshas tomorrow. Who knows, that same devotee can become a brahmachari tomorrow. Who knows, that same devotee can become a leader of the congregation tomorrow. That same devotee can go back to Godhead, and we are in the touch of pure devotee. Who knows? Who knows? So we need to be ultra careful that how we are not doing Vaishnava aparadh. प्रभुपाद बोलते हैं कि even if a person has chanted even once, okay, he is a devotee and we should be careful. So जो पद्वती हम भगवान को देते हैं, जो पद्वती हम आचार्यास को देते हैं, वही पद्वती हमें अपने जूनियर्स, अपने पीयर्स, अपने सीनियर्स को भी मन में देना चाहिए, because they are Vaishnavas, they are devotees. Who are we to judge and decide? So what is wrong, what is right, in smaller scheme of things, it might look like I am right in what I am thinking, but in a bigger scheme of thing of Krishna, it might be just a spot, and we are unnecessarily misdirecting ourselves. Another point is actually setting example for others. See, this excuse we sometimes have that when we go to temple, अच्छा check करते हैं चारों तरफ, अच्छा ये प्रभु जी लेट आ गए, आज ये लेट आ गए, जब ये सीनियर वैष्णव ये लेट आ गए तो मैं भी लेट आ गया तो ठीक है. So this is an excuse we give to ourselves. You never know that devotee can have health issues. पीछे की कहानी हमें पता नहीं है, but हमने अपने मन को बहला लिया. One pastime of Srila Prabhupada, way back in 1971, he was 75 years old. And he and the devotees were in Kumbh Mela. And the devotees सुबह उठ के मंगल आरती ठीक से नहीं कर रहे थे, देर से उठ रहे थे, देर से जपा कर रहे थे. And Prabhupada was also waking up little late because of health issues. But when he saw that, he set the example. Straightway he went to the hand pump, and right at the 3:30 early morning, it was very very chill and cold. वो हैंड पंप के नीचे जाकर के उन्होंने बाथ लेना शुरू कर दिया ठंडे पानी से. And after that he got sick. But वो devotees को दिखा रहे थे कि by setting the example, and then when the devotees saw, they feel ashamed. And immediately after that, Mangal Aarti सब कुछ time पे होने लगा. And so Prabhupada, whatever he used to say, it was never that he didn't do and he asked others to do. He always did and set the example for others to follow. So we should also learn कि हमें बस बोलना नहीं है. First of all, we should also follow so that others can follow us. We should set an example, and that's how parampara is set. Sometimes, because we are in this devotee circle, we take it for granted कि दुनिया यही है. और उसमें अगर बर्दाश्त नहीं हुआ, somebody said something, it's becoming too difficult, and we feel like ये भी क्या मतलब है, material world में भी तो यही होता है, and here also it's the same, Prabhuji, so difficult. One example is of Panchangari Prabhuji and Jananivas Prabhuji. They were pujaris of Mayapur. All of us know, twin brothers. So they never ever used to get into politics. One time it happened that it for them at that time that it became too much, and they thought कि छोड़ के निकल जाते हैं. Then they came out of temple, walked all the way to the gate of Mayapur, then stood there, looked left, looked right, looked back. They said, छोड़ के निकल तो जाते हैं लेकिन जाए कहाँ? बाहर तो और गंदगी है. Came back. Then 45 years they served the Mayapur temple, and we all know. So for us, it's very important that we stay together. There is another porcupine story which I had shared in Janmashtami also, that porcupine, if sahi jo bolte hain Hindi mein, in English we say porcupine with a lot of thorns that animal has. So if in the chill winter weather, if porcupine is alone, it will die. It cannot tolerate that chill winter weather. So what they do is they come together with different porcupines and create warmth among themselves. So with that they are able to survive. लेकिन problem क्या होता है कि सारे porcupines के body में कांटे हैं. So it starts pricking each other and blood starts coming and all, but still they tolerate and they stay together. Because it's better staying together and tolerating that pain than staying alone and dying. Beautiful example, which as practicing devotees also we should follow. हमें एक साथ रहना जरूरी है. भले ही हम अलग कास्ट, क्रीड, कल्चर से आते हैं, अलग वेशभूषा है, अलग परिवेश में पले हैं. Different cultures, somebody comes from north, somebody comes from south, east, west, black, white, whatever. But we have to come and stay together like porcupines. If we go alone, Maya will attack and kill our sadhana. So, even if conflicts are there, sometimes it's like Prabhuji, my husband is not a devotee, my wife is not a devotee, they eat meat in the house. I have to hide and do chanting. I'm trying, but it's difficult. Yeah, it is a difficult stage. But it's like a Prahlad Maharaj mood. More conflicts come, more difficulty comes. Actually, we should be thanking God. Not easy when we say this, and smile on the face and tolerate. You can pray to God to get rid of this situation, problem, so that we can do our bhakti better. But if it keeps on happening in that phase, then we have to tolerate, because everything is temporary. जो उठता है वो गिरता भी, वो जागता है वो सोता भी. Sometimes problem looks very enormous, but that is also temporary, because everything fades away and the problem will as well. And when the problem fades away, are we still ready and chanting and doing our bhakti, or we got succumbed? And that's where actually the association of seniors is very important. Otherwise, we get attached to something else. कभी कभी होता है ना, जो प्रॉब्लम्स आते हैं, आई हैव हर्ड सो मच दैट हम शराब का सहारा ले लेते हैं. We get into some ill activities and we give a bahana that मेरे लाइफ में जितना गुजरा है ना, आप जानते नहीं। अगर आप होते ना तो आपको समझ में आता है कि मैं जो कर रहा हूँ ये क्यों कर रहा हूँ। दिल बहलाना अच्छा है। We see souls when they get a lot into trouble, they get more attracted to chanting. They get more attracted to Krishna consciousness. We also see souls when they get more and more trouble, they break down. They pick up ill gambling, meat eating, illicit relationship. They go more and more in that direction, saying that मेरे life में जो गुजरा है, you can't understand, hence I'm in this position. See, attachment is interesting because attachment definition can be of different mode. Ajamila, he had a beautiful family. He was a Brahmana, but he got attracted to prostitute. And in that ill association, she's told to leave everything, start doing stealing, leave your previous family. And he got into bad as because he was totally attached to that individual. Another form of attachment, which is purity, is three couples who went to UK, United Kingdom, England, with nothing in hand, when Prabhupada just gave them instruction, go and preach Krishna consciousness in England. Three couples. And what was their attachment? They didn't know much about Shastras, or they didn't know much about Krishna consciousness depth and whatnot that time. But they just went because they were attached to Srila Prabhupada. And then the result is in the front, the Bhakti Vedant manner and so much of preaching and congregation in England now. It was because of those three devotees. Even Prabhupada gave instruction to devotees to go to Pakistan, China, and preach. Not an easy place, but they were attached to Srila Prabhupada, and hence they were able to. So, Ajamila had a sort of attachment, and these devotees had sort of attachment. There is a differentiation. They could have given excuse. Even in Russia, when devotees were put in jail, some of the devotees died, some of the devotees were using the breads, the pieces of bread, and making it round and chanting. You made a mala in jail and chant. वो easily बोल सकते थे कि what is I am getting in Krishna consciousness? So much of pain. I was in a better position when I was not in Krishna consciousness. So much of conflict. No, but they tolerated and they just believed in Srila Prabhupada. It's always, see, Maharaj says that it's always tough to follow instructions in parampara, but we have to follow. That's how our parampara is. Sometimes we feel that we are example of Jatayu. Jatayu, when Ravana was taking Sita ji away, Jatayu came and fought. What happened? Ideally, we would have thought that magic would have happened and Jatayu would have defeated because he's in the good side, Ravana is in the bad side. No, but Jatayu got defeated. In that moment, Jatayu got defeated. Right? And Ravan took Sita ji away. But now you expand that moment to the bigger moment. Jatayu got the blessing of Shri Ram, died in the arm of Shri Ram. So हम कभी मोमेंट में सोचते हैं तो लगता है कि अरे ये इतनी तकलीफ है, जो नॉन डिवोटीज है वो तो अच्छे से जी रहे हैं, हम जब से डिवोशन में आए हैं तकलीफें ही तकलीफें हो रही हैं. It's like Prahlad Maharaj getting so much of austerity, right, to his father. And it's fascinating to realize that look at the life of Kamsa, Hiranyakashipu, or Ravana. Look at their life, so opulent. Materially, kitne khush hain. They are getting everything in their world. Look at even Kauravas. So, in their life, in their phase, the way we are following the material world today, we all are running behind money and all. And it's like Kauravas, Hiranyakashipus, Ravanas. We want to get a lot of money, bangla, gadi, and everything. And that is our source of so-called happiness. और जितने भी डिवोटीज रहे हैं हमारे परंपरा में, इन आवर श्रीमद् भागवतम वी हियर स्टोरीज, दे हैव continuously being in pain. Pandavas, उनकी गलती क्या थी? But look at their pain. Prahlad Maharaj, look at his austerity at that age. Dhruv Maharaj, look at his pain. Prabhupada, so much of pain he went through at the age of 70s. So not even one Ramanujarya. So every devotee who have dedicated their life to Krishna, Gauranga, they have materially they have been more pained than the ones who are not in general. तब तो logic तो clear है कि we should not do this, we should do that, because but what we are thinking is at the body level in this phase. Bigger phase में, when Lord's blessing comes, the game changes. Hence, when we are in devotion, in our mind, we should not think about the petty things. We should think big. कुछ नहीं है प्रभु जी माता जी, तो just follow the process blindly. है ना, जैसे बच्चे प्रोसेस ब्लाइंडली फॉलो करते हैं, अपने आप ही अपलिफ्टमेंट होते जाता है. यहाँ भी प्रभुपाद का प्योरिटी है प्रोसेस में. प्रोसेस को हमें फॉलो करना है, ज्यादा ज्यादा आर्ग्यूमेंट नहीं करना है, ज्यादा वो नहीं करना है. इफ वी आर अंडरस्टैंडिंग द फिलोसफी मोर टू प्रोग्रेस बेटर, बट इफ यू आर अंडरस्टैंडिंग द फिलोसफी मोर टू डिबेट एंड टू क्वेश्चन एंड टू डाउट, it's not a right attitude to follow bhakti. Hence, the association of devotees are very important, so that वो है ना, वो बाग, वो गार्डन, वो भक्ति लता बीज प्रस्फुटित होती रहे. That should keep growing. Otherwise, माया से किसने फाइट कर पाया है? We keep succumbing day after day, moment after moment, night after night. So with that, I would like to conclude for today. And let's pray for each other that the conflicts are, when they come in different forms in life, we are able to survive and keep on the path of bhakti and target for our purification and for the devotees' purification. And always to Srila Prabhupada, always to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga, always to assembled devotees. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you.